Shalom. All praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Double honor to the elders and shalom to the brothers out there pushing the truth and sincerity. My name is Amnawala, and to my left is
Karat Zakba.
And today we're going to go into the book of Acts and the 17th chapter. Lord willing, this will be like a two-part show. We're mainly going to focus on verses 16 to 23. And Lord willing, finish the rest, another time. And it's a lot of information, so let's get started. Read that.
All right, this is Acts chapter 17, verse 16. Now, while Paul waited for them at Athens.
Now, this is the Apostle Paul waiting for Timotheus and Silas at Athens, which you find out when you read prior in the chapter. Read that again.
It says, now while Paul waited for them at Athens.
Right, Paul waited for them at Athens. Now, I got some information about Athens. This is I believe it's on Wikipedia. I don't got the name of the site here. This is Athena. It says in Greek religion and mythology, Athena or Athene, also referred to as Pallas Athena, Athene, is the goddess of wisdom, courage, inspiration, civilization, law and justice, just warfare, mathematics, strength, strategy, the arts, crafts, and skill. So Athena was a goddess in ancient Greeks, as we read here. Minerva is the Roman goddess identified with Athena. So, in other words, Minerva, the Roman goddess, is the Roman equivalent to the Greek goddess Athena. Athena is also a shrewd companion of heroes and is the goddess of heroic endeavor. She is the virgin patroness of Athens, which the word patron means like protector or support. The Athenians founded the Parthenon on the Acropolis of her namesake city. Now you can look at that word Acropolis. Okay. It says the Athenian. Matter of fact, not yet. We're gonna get that in the next verse.
All right.
Athena is also a true companion of heroes and is the goddess of heroic endeavor. She is the virgin patroness of Athens. The Athenians founded the Parthenon on the Acropolis of her namesake city, Athens, in her honor. So Athens was named after the Greek goddess Athena. That's why I said of her namesake city. Athena's veneration as the patron of Athens seems to have existed from the earliest times and was so persistent that archaic myths about her were recast to adapt to cultural changes. In her role as a protector of the city, Polis, that's what city means in the Greek, many people throughout the Greek world worshipped Athena as Athena Polias, Athena of the city. The city of Athens and the goddess Athena essentially bear the same name, Athena meaning many Athenas. So we know Athens was named after the Greek goddess Athena. So read that again.
It says,
and also, Athens is the capital of Greece and is the largest city in Greece also. I thought I had that here, but it wasn't here, so I'm just going to say that. Y'all can look it up on your own. You look up Athens on Wikipedia and so forth. So read that again.
Acts 17 and 16. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him.
Yeah, his spirit was stirred in him, meaning what? He was angered. He was upset. Go on. Why was he upset? You're going to read it.
When he saw the city wholly given to idolatry.
Right, wholly given into idolatry, meaning completely given into idolatry. Athens was completely given into idolatry. Well, is that true? Well, we got documents on that. Now, it says the topic of this webpage is titled "How Strong Can Idols Be?" Paul knows. Now let's read about it. It says one of the best examples of the power of idolatry to block the entrance of the kingdom of God or the Most High into a city is Paul's experience in Athens. Paul reaped abundant spiritual fruit in Thessalonica and Berea before he went to Athens, and he reaped abundant fruit in Corinth and in Ephesus after he left Athens. But in Athens, he saw very few converts and he left no church behind that we hear anything more about. What had blocked Paul's ministry there? Idolatry. Paul's spirit was provoked within him when he saw the city was given over to idols, as we just read, and it says Acts 17:16. True, cities like Thessalonica, Berea, Corinth, and Ephesus had their share of idols. It's that 2 Corinthians 12 and 2. When it says ye were led.
Yep.
Is that first or second?
Let's see. This is first.
All right.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 2.
12.
2 verse 12.
Chapter 12, verse 2.
Slakia. 1 Corinthians 12, verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles,
He's speaking to Israelite foreigners, by the way. Ye were Gentiles, in your mind, a Gentile state of mind. And if I could say this about the word Gentile real quick, I wasn't planning on saying this, but the word Gentile means foreigner, as we all know. It comes from the Latin word gentilis. And when you look it up, you'll find out that in ancient Greek, in ancient Rome, which the Romans spake Latin, when they would whenever somebody was was not a citizen of Rome, that would make them what, a foreigner, and they called them gentilis. So anybody that was not a citizen of Rome, they called them gentilis, meaning a foreigner. So the word Gentile don't mean no damn non-Jew. It means a foreigner. They was foreigners in their mind. Go on.
It said, ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols.
Carried away into these dumb idols. We just brought that out to prove to you how this document here said Corinth had idols also. But I'm gonna read this again. We can go back to Acts. Now this is back in this document here. True, cities like Thessalonica, Berea, Corinth, and Ephesus had their share of idols, but not like Athens. Athens was notable in ancient literature for its unusually extravagant idolatry. Athens was called a forest of idols. Some said that it was easier to find a god in Athens than a human being. So that bears witness to the scriptures right here. The city was wholly given into idolatry, completely given into idolatry. Because in ancient Greece and Athens, some say it was easier to find an idol than a human being. And Athens it was said that it was hard for pedestrian traffic in Athens because of so many damn idols. Some said that it was easier to find a god in Athens than a human being. One estimated calculated that the city of Athens, which is the largest city in Greece and the capital city in Greece, housed more idols than all of the rest of Greece combined. How hard did Paul? That was good right there. That was it on that. But that proves it right there. It said Athens was given to idolatry. Let's see if I got more on this. This is another document here. It's called St. Paul Visits Athens. All right, you should get the Acropolis thing ready. It says St. Paul probably first landed. It says St. Paul visits Athens. What did St. Paul see and do in Athens? St. Paul probably first landed by ship at Piraeus, the port of Athens in Greece. Since the 5th century BC, Piraeus is not the largest port in Greece. So since the 5th century BC until this very day, going back to the 5th century BC, Piraeus was known as the largest port in Athens, in Athens in Greece. The largest port in Greece, actually. Piraeus is now the largest port in Greece, see? To this very day. I landed, this is the person speaking about their own experiences. They said, I landed and took off from Piraeus to visit the Greek islands. Baedeker says that at Piraeus, you can see ancient boat sheds underwater, the remains of Greek theater, the old city walls, and a shipping museum. At Athens, St. Paul, the famous hill of the Acropolis, Greek for high city, ancient cities were often built on a hill for better defense. Now, can you look up Acropolis, see what that says?
Acropolis, okay. This Acropolis in Wikipedia says the Acropolis of Athens is an ancient citadel located.
Click on that, see what that means. Citadel.
Okay, citadel. A citadel is a fortress protecting a town. Sometimes incorporating a castle. The term derives from the same Latin root as the word city, civis, meaning citizen.
Alright, I was on that.
Okay.
Now go back. Start from the top again. Acropolis.
Okay. The Acropolis of Athens is an ancient citadel located on a high rocky outcrop above the city of Athens.
It said high rocky. Notice it said at Athens, St. Paul, so the famous hill, the Acropolis. Go on.
Okay, it says it's an ancient citadel.
Because when he got in Greece, these are more likely would have been one of the first things he would have seen. Go on. It said hill, and there was a high rocky hill, like you just said there. And we read now on Wikipedia. Go ahead.
Okay, it's an ancient citadel located on a high rocky outcrop above the city of Athens and containing the remains of several ancient buildings of great architectural and historical significance.
Notice it said the remainings. To this day it's remaining, but back then it was actually there. And it said historical, right? Go on.
Yep. The most famous being
Just read it straight through.
Yeah.
You know?
The most famous being the Parthenon.
Yeah, the Parthenon. That's it, the most famous. Now you look up that word Parthenon. It means the house of, if I'm not mistaken, the house of virgin apartments. The house of virgin apartments, because the Parthenon was built for the Greek goddess Athena. And the last document we just read, it says Athena was the virgin patroness of Athens. Parthenon means the house of virgin apartments when you look it up. So the Parthenon was a temple built to the goddess Athena, which the goddess Athena was the virgin patroness of the Greek capital of Greece, the Athens, which was the capital of Greece. Go on.
The word Acropolis comes from the Greek word akron, which means edge, extremity, and polis, city. Although there are many other acropolis in Greece, the significance of the Acropolis of Athens is such that it is commonly known as the Acropolis without qualification. It says, while there is evidence that the hill was inhabited as far back as the 4th millennium BC.
That's bullshit. Go ahead.
It was Pericles. It says it give you 495 to 429 BC. In the 5th century BC, who candidated the construction of the site's most important building, including the Parthenon, the Palea.
Yeah, the Propylaea.
Propylaea,
What's this here?
Propylaea, Heracleion, and the Temple of Athens Nike.
Right, so at the Acropolis, which Poe would have most likely had to have seen, entering Greece, entering Athens, the Acropolis was filled with different temples to other gods. And click on that where it says Heracleion. Because I believe it has something to do with Poseidon. So when Paul reached inside the city of Athens, he would have seen the Acropolis and he would have seen the different temples that was built to different gods. That's why I said the spirit was stirred up in them.